Welcome back to Therapy Sessions, episode 2. In today's episode, we're stepping into the world of dating, love, and growth through the lenses of 12 amazing women. Together, we'll explore what it means to date intentionally, love consciously, and grow as individuals and partners. This isn't about perfection, it's about reflection, growth, and discovering what it truly takes to cultivate the life and love you want. So whether you're single, married, or somewhere in between, lean in and let's explore what it really means to plant new seeds and harvest a different kind of love. Welcome to Therapy Sessions, where healing meets honesty and growth meets intention. Here we believe that if we want a different harvest, we have to plant different seeds. Every conversation is a seed, a moment of truth, a lesson, or a breakthrough, all planted with purpose so we can grow into who we're called to be. Welcome everyone. I would like to start by having everyone introduce ourselves. You can just say your name and how you would define your current relationship status.
I'll go first. I'm Chantel, and I'm married.
I'm Precious, and I'm single.
I'm Trey, and I'm married.
I'm Kim, and I'm single.
I'm Shan, and I'm married.
Lyric, and I'm single. Alicia, dating.
Jerry, single.
Kendra, married.
Taisha, focusing on self.
I'm Maya, and I'm married. I feel like I'm freshly married. I'll be married in 2 years in March.
Wow.
So, yes, I've been married for that long. Right. Yes.
So I don't know what you mean.
No. Yeah, who is the OG? Who's been married the longest?
How long you been married?
Almost 12 years now, 11 right now.
Girl.
But you right behind her.
Oh, exactly. You ain't that far, OG.
OG.
We're not gonna do that on the show. Come on, therapy.
I want to first start by just focusing on singleness, right, and what that means. And I want to start with the people who are focusing on themselves. What does that look like for you in your day-to-day life, and how are you prioritizing your growth and well-being during this season?
So I am in nursing school. I'm trying to keep myself busy with that. I am a mother of 2, so they definitely keep me busy. I've been changing up my diet to try to, I think it's been making me feel better. I just want to focus on ways that I wake up and feel better and look at life differently.
What about anybody else? Like, what does it look like on your day-to-day when it comes to prioritizing just yourself? And
Well,
focusing
I
on
will
yourself?
say, as a full-time mother and wife, I have to have times where I get away. So, like going to get my nails done and, pampering myself away from the family is very essential. Journaling and going back and reading the things that I've journaled is also things that I do that help kind of monitor my growth and focus on the ways in which I'm trying to be intentional.
How do you find the balance of doing that though? Like you said, taking the time to yourself, and I feel like sometimes it's easier said than done, which is why I'm asking.
I feel like it has to be communicated to your spouse because they look at it like, okay, you got it, you doing it, and like if you're not communicating, like, well, babe, I'm tired, or like, I make it look easy, but I need a break. I'm tired. Like, you got the bath tonight, or you got this tonight, or I can't cook dinner. Could you bring home food today? Like, you know what I'm saying?
For me, it's like the gym. I was an athlete, like in college, high school, and then I fell off, of course, like once I got happy, I guess, and just kind of went going, and then probably for the past 3 or 4 years, I've been pretty consistent, and like I have to go at 4:30. I have to get up at 4:30 and go at 5. That's the only time that I can go because, I did have 1 child, now with 2. There's no way that I'm going in the afternoon. As soon as they get home, it's time for dinner, it's time for homework, it's time to go to bed. So the gym is like my therapy.
Okay, shout out to the morning gym girl.
And it makes my
Yeah,
entire
I've been doing
day.
it.
And I think like starting your day off like that is like a small win already.
I also think too, I love the morning start, but everybody, I think you have to find your own schedule.
Yeah,
so
because some people
it may be a night thing. So whatever,
Yes.
in between, you may do it on your lunch break.
Yes.
So you have to find a schedule.
Because everybody
that works
can go in
for
the
you.
morning, true. It's finding a balance.
How long you in there, what you do. That's one thing I did have to get over is like how long I'm in the gym, what I'm doing. If I didn't break a good enough sweat, then it felt like I wasn't doing enough. But just, I've had to learn definitely just showing up is enough. And that actually leads me to my next question. With the things that you have worked on to learn how to focus on yourself or to pour back into yourself? What have you learned about yourself?
I think I'm learning about myself. I can do all things, but I'm also just now starting to accept help. That's the thing with me, because I just feel like I can do it. I think me and my bestie has that in common. Like, you know.
We got a little bit ahead of ourselves, but I want to go back to just everybody who's dating, because I know some people are married. Well, raise your hand if you're married. I'm trying to remember. Okay, so for everybody else, you're like either single and like casually dating. I know some of us are single, focusing on ourselves, and then some of us are single but really, really looking for a potential spouse. So I first want to define what is the difference between casually dating and dating with intention.
I feel like when you're casually dating, it's just what it is. Like you may be looking for company, looking for a sex person, or fun, like a buddy or whatever type of, whatever it is that you're looking for. Now, when you're dating with intentions, you're actually, you want it to go somewhere. You want it to go to the next level.
Focusing on one person.
Marriage,
And you're only, you just taking that person
marriage,
serious.
family.
Yeah, that, all of that.
So Taisha, you said fun. What do you mean by fun? Like, what is fun for you?
I mean, just enjoying a person's company. It doesn't have to be like you're looking for something to go to the next stages, or I don't know. I'm not looking for marriage. I'm strictly in it to have fun.
I
Enjoy
like
the time.
Taisha. She likes to run, so she may be looking for a running buddy.
Or just somebody you can just like go out to eat with, or
Yeah, just company.
See a movie.
That's what it is.
So have you ever, in the past, even if you are married, felt like you stayed in a relationship or a situation that didn't align with your values, maybe out of
Absolutely.
comfort, out of insecurities? And if so, what made you finally leave that situation? Well, one, why do you feel like you were in that situation knowing that it didn't align with you, if you even knew at the time? And then two, what made you finally be like, no, I'm good?
I say from my past relationship, I think I stayed in it like way too long. It was a thing of comfort. We were just used to each other, and it was easy.
So what made you leave? Like, what made you be like, I'm good?
I think honestly, it was a change in circumstances. I just knew like eventually it was going to come to an end. Yeah, like both of us weren't looking for the same things, and it was just me coming to terms with that. So
we talked about like staying in a relationship too long. Have you ever, not you specifically to y'all two, but just everybody, have you ever went from relationship to relationship? So let's say like you do finally leave somebody and you could be dating them for a good minute, and then you finally break up, and then you right back into another relationship.
Yeah, I haven't done that.
I think that was my fear with like starting dating again. I felt like I was gonna like, I mean, we were together for so long. I didn't want to like start with someone new and just kind of pick up where I left off. Like, so I don't know if that applies to anybody else, but yeah.
Precious, you were saying when you were a little younger.
Yeah,
Like,
when I
you
was a
still
little
did?
younger, yeah.
I think we both
Not now, but
rebound.
definitely when I was younger.
Why do you think that is?
I don't know, I just feel like I didn't get along. Honestly.
Well, just get your mind over
Get
that.
your mind
off
Yeah.
somebody.
Yes,
Mm.
exactly.
And then do you feel like you end right back up into another relationship that maybe is similar to the one that
Yeah.
you just left?
Because you moved on to
Yeah.
that. You weren't even
Or
ready.
not what you were looking for, because you didn't get to know this person necessarily. Like, you just jump
Jump right
in.
into
Take
it.
your time.
I want to hear from everybody on this one because I think this is a good one for younger ladies to hear. By younger ladies, I mean like, people in their teenage years especially. But what is a behavior that you once accepted that you now recognize is unhealthy in relationships?
Accepting like someone saying, oh, I'm not good at communicating, and thinking that that's a way to let you off the hook. Nobody starts off being good at anything. And so just learning that, not to accept the bare minimum from yourself or from nobody else.
Or manipulation. Sometimes younger females deal with manipulation, but as you get older, it's like, no, not doing this no more.
Can you
I've
give us
outgrown you.
Can you give us an example of what that would look like?
I don't know, because it can be
A variety of things.
Yeah.
I only ask because I feel like that was one that I used to accept. Like, And I didn't realize it at the time, but one of my friends told me I was dating this guy. Anytime I would get ready to break up with him because he wasn't able to provide or he didn't have a job, he would all of a sudden like have a job interview or have something lined up. And my friend was like, you don't notice that every time you get ready to leave him, now he got a job? And then once y'all get back together and y'all stay together, now he don't have a job?
How did you end up getting out of that?
That relationship took me a long time to get out of.
Months, years?
It took me some years. That took me a very long time. It was also a very abusive relationship, so it took me a long time to. I'm trying to think of I think the last straw was when I actually started moving on, and this person literally showed up to my house, was like banging on my door, breaking my camera, and I had to call the police, and they went to jail, and that was the last time I ever spoke to them.
Like, making you think that you can't move on without them. Like,
Right.
you need them. Like, you need me. You cannot do this without me.
Anybody else have one?
I think just like a liar, someone that just
Oh,
lies.
yeah.
You just lie.
And just for no reason.
You cannot get past that, right?
Yeah, like you just like you just lie about stuff.
You
Like,
cannot get past that.
and then you do that, I feel like you just
Cheating.
yeah, like that it leads to
Lying,
something like that. Like you
cheating.
want like cheating.
And that's relationships in general.
Yeah.
Friendships is what I was trying to say.
Yeah,
Somebody
yeah,
just
that's
be lying
true,
and
yeah.
realize like. But Lyric, you were about to say something.
I was about to say something.
Come on, Leah, you ain't saying that all day.
I was gonna say any type of abuse. Like first time, cut it off because somebody can do something to you and then come with the waterworks, like manipulating and trying to make you feel bad for them because they hit you or something. How you gonna make me feel bad because you hit me? Like just cut it off at the source because you're gonna end up in a relationship that you don't want to be in. Walk around with scars you don't want. Just you know, and that's a lot of trauma you gotta come back from. You know, so from my own experience, like I was just. But I think that was my last straw. Like 2 days before my birthday, I got hit in my eye with a glass bottle. It was closed shut. I said, "Oh, girl, you don't care about my birthday. You don't care about me." It's like that was like kind of like it's like knocked some sense to me, basically.
That's
She knocked
exactly.
the sense back to my head.
Yeah.
And yeah, sometimes it does take like that one moment of like,
And you be like,
what have I been
Same.
doing? Yeah, what have I been doing this whole time? And then especially when you have to then unprocess it, like you said.
My first relationship, it was like my college husband, and he transferred, and then I ended up with this bum, and he became abusive. And it was kind of like that. Like I was sitting on the curb, and I'm like, as y'all know from probably just me, I am local. I'm going to voice my opinion, and I said something, and he broke my goddamn bone, and I cussed and did whatever, and he like straight hit me like a dude, like hit me not. And I was at this point like, I have to get out of this shit.
Okay.
I'm scared, and so like I was like, this is not my fault. This was the summer, and by the fall, like I was out, and I thank God.
I was just like, thank God.
I thank God.
All right. That got a little heavy, so we're going to get to some. Well, I guess we consider this to be lighter. It just depends on how you receive the question. So I do have a question talking about casually dating, and I'm curious to know this because I know when I was casually dating, I don't think I protected my body as much as I should have. So how do you approach physical intimacy in casually dating, and what are some boundaries that you have set for yourself or probably will set for yourself? Or
I think it's very important for young girls especially to use condoms, 1. 2, to have some type of person in your life to talk about, have sex talk with, because even like you 17, 18, you don't know a lot of, what's really going on with sex. To be on birth control, so that, if that is an option, like, some people don't believe in birth control. And also to know the person's, like, kind of status, because I know, like, young people, like, a lot of, STD going
That's
around.
scary,
And
dog.
then now, they may be scared to, like, oh, I have, it bleeds when I burn or something, or whatever. Like, you're scared to go to the doctor or talk to somebody and it leads to something else or whatever. So, yeah, for sure. Absolutely.
Or if you casually dating, everybody, you don't have to have sex with everybody.
That too.
Some people just don't deserve that.
people that are dating, what boundaries have y'all set for yourselves, if any? I mean, if you haven't dated, no judgment, but I'm just curious
The
to know.
boundaries I
Like,
said for me and my husband. No, just for
you don't have
You
to-
be quiet, Chanel.
People.
Yeah,
People
nobody's
dating.
talking to you.
You don't need to know these folks podcast.
Thank you. How do y'all not time? Like, how do you handle those? Like, I'll give an example so the question makes sense. Like, I had a friend that was dating and she knew that, like, she's not like an easy person, but she just knows that like temptation was real. So she tried to not allow herself and whoever she was dating to like be in the house too much, because she knew that it could possibly go there, especially if you like drinking or if you have a good time, or when you really, really start to like somebody and you feel like you want to connect on a different level. So that was a boundary that she had. So what about y'all? What boundary do y'all have? Or what does it look like?
I mean, I guess the male showing you that, like, I guess you worth it, like, I don't know. Because it could be, like, boundaries look like sex or just, like...
Yeah, like,
Like,
well,
you have
born
a
into a
boundary, like-
relationship.
I mean, sex, well, physical
I kind of
intimacy
let
can
you know at
never
the
be sex.
beginning of the talking stage, like, I'm celibate, I don't want to really have sex right now. We can get to know each other, no, don't want to know each other.
And then that's it. And if
I
they
know
don't respect
it is.
it,
It's like, I can't get mad if you don't.
I
You
love
can't
that.
get
That's how you weed them out.
So, and
I
then you
love
stick
it.
around, you stick around.
Okay.
And I'm not gonna keep wanting nobody else too many times anyway, because first, like, we finna take me on a date or something. So we don't get you for the way be in your house, so you would be tempted to do anything.
I love that.
That's like where it is.
And I just been saying, like, be transparent with me.
like, well, what they want.
And I just actually, I just talk to one person. Okay, I don't be just dating around. I just talk to one person at a time. I'm just looking for sex, and sometimes I'm just looking for sex.
That's what I was going to ask. Like,
Like,
do you communicate that? Do you communicate that with
Yes,
them?
ma'am.
Like, I'm not even trying to be serious with you. I'm just trying to have a good time.
Yes,
And-
ma'am.
I'm just trying to have a good time.
That's really what I'm wondering.
I
Like,
love it. First you said, sex, but
I need sex, so this is what we're doing.
Look at Shan. I don't even remember her name.
yeah, I mean, look, I'm impressed when y'all was doing whatever
Okay.
y'all doing, but we gonna talk
Yeah,
about
we ain't
podcast. We gonna get this podcast.
all right, I'm moving on. So, I want to move on to the next segment. So, we talked a little bit about singleism and dating. I know I just made that word.
Okay,
Okay, I like it.
I do too. Tenderism.
Shout out to Tenderism.
Shout out to the singleism ladies. Okay, so I want to move on to those of us that are in long-term relationships, because I feel like there is a difference between like being single, casually dating, and being in a committed relationship, even though you are not married yet. So for those of us that are in long-term relationships, can we start by defining like what that means for you, and how many years have you been committed to this one person?
I'm first been about 5 years now.
Okay.
So it's kind of crazy because I was married before for 20 years.
So you the original guy.
Yeah.
Yes, I've been in a long-term relationship. And I guess we done recently bought a house together. So, I mean,
This is the 5-year move.
Okay. Look.
yeah.
That's quiet.
Hey.
All right, come talk about dating.
Yeah, I got married. I got married real time.
Right.
How old were you when you got married? 21.
No, how old was I? I was young.
Yeah, that's pretty young.
I was young.
Okay.
Let's go back. I was young.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I've been through a whole lot, yeah.
Yeah. Some folks get married right out of high school. Yeah, I grandma.
Yeah, most of our grandmas.
Yeah, so I was real young. But, I guess, what's the question again?
So my question, well, that was the first question. I do have some more questions. Do you mind if I just ask you, is anybody else in a long-term relationship or consider themselves to be? No. Okay, so do you mind if I just, I don't want to single you out, but you don't know what it is. Okay, so my next question is marriage. So you said you were married before, so, and for 12 years. Does that change how you look at marriage for this relationship? Like, is there still an end goal for you?
Well, in the beginning it did, because I was like, the marriage, it was okay in the beginning, but in the end, so when I started this relationship, I was like, I'll never get married again. But he definitely has changed my mind.
Okay.
So I definitely get married.
How did he
Yeah,
change
I know.
your mind?
That's it on the podcast.
How did he change your mind?
I mean, he just, like, we literally best friends. We talk about everything.
Okay.
Like, he there for the kids, like, my kids are not his. And, like, he go above and beyond for them, for me. Like, it's like I got an easy life right now.
Mm-hmm.
Soft life.
Soft
I
life.
got a soft life.
Well,
I love it.
So would you say he were like restored your hope in that?
He did.
Oh.
Okay, that's
Okay,
good.
shout out to him.
For you.
person? Is it something y'all talked about, or is it just like I'm open to it? If he asks, he asks, or
Then like the last year, I know he probably asked me, but we talked about it.
Okay.
So
We got a way to go to y'all.
but it's not like the end of like. Do you have a timeline of how long you were away, or it's just like
No, I don't have no time. I don't put pressure on it or anything. I just,
Yeah,
we both like it's gonna happen, but
She happy.
What is
I
that?
love it.
I actually really I love to hear that.
I do too.
The
The fact that like y'all can talk about things and be there for your kids.
and to
You
go
ain't
from like
stressing.
never wanted to do it again to
Yeah.
South Florida.
That's beautiful.
Okay, period.
I'm ready for next year to hear this story. The rest of the
Everybody's still
What
waiting.
to say?
story. Yeah.
Okay, so I have some questions for my married ladies. Did you know that you were ready for marriage prior to your spouse? Like, were you single, or not even just single, but were you dating and knowing like whoever I date, I want to be serious, I want to get married, or did you figure out that you were ready for marriage once you got with your spouse?
I think I was always like one of those marriage material girls, or that was always I knew I was always going to get married.
But when you met your spouse, did you know like I'm ready for marriage right now? And that
No, so when I first met my spouse, no, I wouldn't say that. I was still kind of like, yeah, we were dating, but it was just like, you know, and then things kind of picked up a little bit fast. And I was just like, okay.
That's the same for me. We were friends first, and I did see some potential when we were building a friendship. When we started dating, I still saw potential, but it was actions in the relationship that made me say, this may be the one.
what actions? What made you feel like, you know what?
First off,
I'm just asking.
okay, I love the question.
Okay, what's the
The
question?
communication and the accountability. He wasn't a coward, you know, he wasn't afraid to challenge me, and I have dated people in the past where it's like I say something and they kind of cower out and just allow me to rule
right.
the relationship.
Yeah.
He was nowhere near like that, and I love that he could take the lead in that way. And so that made me say, maybe it's
She said, control me better.
Very intimidating. You've been married for 8 years. What about you? Did you know you were ready for marriage before marriage, or once you met your spouse?
It was after. Yeah, not
Once
before.
you married?
Yeah, way after.
Thinking back to your first few years of marriage, and specifically to those of you that's been married for some years, because I feel like I'm still a baby at marriage. What do you think you learned about yourself and marriage in general? Like, you know, some people have ideas of what they think marriage is supposed to look like until you get in it and it changes, but what do you think you learned about yourself?
Can't compare.
I was just gonna say that. That is so funny.
Can't compare.
Can you
Okay.
expand for us, please?
Like you can't compare like your house, your marriage, your situation to your friends, to anybody, because what works in your house, like I feel like that's really big.
Yeah.
Like what works for you and your spouse, your best friend or whoever, they might not agree with it, or you know, like the things I do for my husband, Chantel may not, or the things she do, I won't. You know, that don't work for us, but you know, it works for them. And I think just really just like minding your business and just worrying about your own house. For me, that's what. Like I don't, because I think at first when you do first get married, you do like you're kind of like, oh, we're married and we get to do all this, but then it really kind of settle in, and you just like, this is really like, yeah. And so you have to really, well, I have to really just pay attention to what's in my house and not worry about everybody else or what they do. And I think that's what has helped, like,
Have a successful marriage.
I also think like you can't like focus on like other people's opinions too. You know, how it could be like maybe your mom or his mom or you know stuff like that, or their family. Like you can't. They got a lot to say about what's going on. Okay, maybe
That's a big one.
that's not what we do.
That's definitely how I feel sometimes. Like I can't, because people will have opinions about what you should be doing, how you should be doing it, but sometimes those same people may not even be
I
as
was gonna say, after the
supportive.
time they're not even married, how they gonna try to get inside?
I mean, because it can be very challenging, especially like a quick backstory. Me and my husband had a really traumatic situation with our son. His leg was broken while he was at daycare. And the lady, she lied. Basically, she said she didn't do it. She said we did it. You know, we just picked him up, we broke his leg, we took him to the hospital, and we tried to blame her. It was a whole shebang. She's recently been charged and all the things. But throughout that situation, that person was recommended to us by one of my husband's family members. And so that put a big wedge between us and their family because it felt like they didn't really know whose side to choose. It was kind of like we just gonna wait until the police tell us what happened. And I think that's when I started to realize, like, I can't even be focused on these people's opinions or how they view our situation, because sometimes when stuff hit the fan, it's just gonna be you and your spouse at the end of the day. And I definitely had to learn, like, it's us against the world. And I've also had to learn, and through premarital counseling they told me this, but I didn't really listen. But I've definitely had to learn how to focus on myself and my convictions and what I can work on instead of what my spouse could be working on to be a better spouse, because I had that really bad. Ask you a question. I know you said, so you were married for 12 years and then now you're in a new relationship. Is there anything different? Like, let's say you were to get remarried. Is there anything that you would do different in this marriage or even this relationship that you may have changed from your last marriage?
To stand up for myself. Yeah, so not like just love myself and to like really like just stand up for myself. Like whatever I feel like I can say whatever to him. However how I feel. In my past marriages, like okay, I had to walk on eggshells. So now I feel like whatever I feel, I'm gonna say it. I'm communication, so I communicate with it also.
I know me and Trey have talked about this before, how it feels like when we look at people's marriages now, people are so quick to give up on marriage. I think people have this idea of what marriage is supposed to be, and then when it doesn't look like that, it's like, all right, I'm going to be done with this one and move on to the next one. Is there ever a time within your marriages that you felt like, I'm about to just get a divorce, I'm going to call it quits?
Nope. I have never felt like that. We've had conversations before marriage where we understood that divorce was an option if we were to get married. And so we don't speak on divorce. We don't act like we want to be divorced. And so no, I haven't had in 11, almost 12 years, a moment where I was like, I'm going in the town or felt like I wanted to.
Same 10 almost 11. Yeah,
Yep, you gotta keep folks out your mix, and that's the way to endure. You know, keep your solid foundation. Make sure you and that person have that understanding, and everybody else that's mad or upset or disrupted around it, let them figure that out.
Yeah, we told each other before we got married. Like, you told me, like, you stuck, like, I'm not, like, this is it.
Do you feel like it's not harder to navigate marriage, but like, okay, for me, before I met Trey, I was the only person within my friend group that was married. So sometimes when I had situations that would come up, I felt very alone in those situations. Like, I feel like when you talk to a married friend, even if you're venting about what you have going on, their perspective may be different because they're married. So they understand, like, oh, there's gonna be some challenges, you know, this is maybe something y'all could work on. Versus I feel like sometimes with your single friends, from the outside looking in, it may feel like they're judging your situation because they don't know what it's like to be married. Have y'all ever had
nothing against nobody who's not married, but they just can't relate sometimes to some of those things.
I also feel like you can't, some stuff with certain people you can't necessarily share anyone to be like faithful to. You know what I mean? So they could be like, you go out with your single friends, they could be in God's face and, you know, oh, you gonna buy a drink or, you know, do stuff like that, or, you know, they having fun. But it's nothing against those people, but they not gonna operate the way that, you know, you operate. And so you gotta kind of, and that's why it's good to have like friends that are on your level, that are on the same thing that you got going on. And I can say the same thing too, like for people who have
I'm so sorry to cut you off. That statement just feels like it kind of ostracizes single people.
I'm gonna give a prime example, and it has nothing to do with single and married. This is total opposite. I didn't know how. Before I had friends who had kids. I didn't have any kids. I didn't know what it was like to be like a mom or to show up, you know, for my friends who got kids, like, oh, okay, you got a baby or you pregnant. I mean, I'm happy for you. I'm happy you know, got a baby and stuff, or, you know, but I didn't know, like, how special it was.
Yeah, like how to show up.
You know, yeah, how to show up for my friends. Because, I mean, I know when I was pregnant, I had my first kid. I love my friends. Y'all would make me cry. I ain't gonna do that. But, yeah.
You gotta start crying? Don't start crying.
Yeah, some things you don't know how to operate in until you have experience.
Yeah.
And I do want to say, I'm simply saying maybe sometimes it's okay to give those people the benefit of the doubt. And
Yes, I agree. Well, I don't mean to cut you off, but I want to wrap this part of it up. But I do want to say that I do agree with what you're saying, because I have struggled with allowing those friends who are not married that I feel like don't show up for me in the way that I need. I've struggled with allowing them grace, and I've definitely had to have a conversation.
Explaining it.
Yes, but I feel like even if
I might not get it, but
yes, and I think even if I explain it to them, they might not get it in this moment, but once they get married, I have seen like different posts, like, you know, those friends that they don't get it, but then when they get married, they even come back and have a conversation with you, like, I'm sorry that I didn't show up for you, because I didn't get it at the time. But I think kind of what you were saying, like, it doesn't make them a horrible friend, but when
they just don't understand.
They don't understand.
That's not what they're going through. Like,
the biggest thing about my podcast is if you want a different harvest, you have to plant different seeds. And I got that from Ecclesiastes. There's a time for everything. There's a time to Ecclesiastes. There's a time for everything. There's a time to plant and there's a time to uproot.
Right.
So you guys kind of answered this question already on your survey, but I want you to still share it with my audience. So just thinking about everything we discussed today, you know, our dating journeys, marriage, we kind of got into the kids thing. Like, this was a great conversation. In your personal life, if you could plant a new seed in your life right now, what would it be? And if there isn't a new seed yet, in what ways would you either uproot something or just continue to water what you have already planted? If y'all would like, I could go first to give an example.
Go ahead.
Okay, so in this season of my life, I'm uprooting a lot of things. I'm definitely uprooting the need to prove myself in so many different situations in a lot of different ways. I am definitely removing the fear of trying new things and stepping out on faith. And I am planting all things intentional. Relationships, like with my marriage, with my friendships, even with my job and what that looks like. And I am really trying to walk in my purpose in this season of my life. I don't think I did that before. I was just going with the flow, and I was really scared to try anything that just seemed scary. Like, this would have been scary for me, but we're doing it, so.
For me, yeah, that's great. Sorry. For myself, one thing I am trying to uproot is having to feel like the strong friend, the strong sister, the strong daughter, the strong individual in life. Because I've learned that being that's what is expected out of me, even when I'm weak. And I thank God for my husband, because he is the one who has shown me that I can relax and he can take the wheel. And so I'm trying to practice, you know, letting go of having or feeling like I need to be strong in all situations. And I'm also focusing on being intentional. It's okay to not feel strong in any given situation. And so I realized over the last few years that everybody looked to me as that, and it's in all aspects of my life, my friends, my family, my kids, you know, and I don't want that to fall on their shoulders either. You know, I don't want them to think that they have to always have it together. They always have to have a problem solution mindset. That's the way I've been operating for a very long time. So I'm being intentional with uprooting that. And with that comes the intentionality of, you know, my space, my feeling, my heart. So.
Mine is, I guess, self-care. I feel like I take care of, I've always had worry issues where I take care of everybody else. And I'm just kind of take care of myself. Yeah, like whatever it is that I need, if I need some time to myself, or I want to go do this or that, whatever that looks like for me. Starting to, do things for me, because I eat, sleep, family. Like, I've always took care of my family, and not just my, own family, but my, family. So, not focusing on me. I don't want to sound like I'm just but
like prioritizing.
Yeah, how about girl?
attachment or learning to let things go. A lot of times when it can be people, a thing, a habit, God gives you signs to let it go, and it's hard for me to let go of things. So, letting go of attachment, and also being more disciplined this year. So like the goals that I set for the year, or whether it's for the day or for the week, but to actually be intentional and be disciplined with myself to do it.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Take you
Questions? No. Sure. I'm done.
Right now, I think I am planting a seed of happiness.
Okay.
I love being happy. I love love, self-love, love of others, and just being more me and just being comfortable being me around new people. Nice meeting all of you. But yeah, and just having fun. Like whatever that means for me, I have to understand it doesn't mean the same for others, but my fun is my fun, and just getting comfortable with that.
Clock it.
Yep. There we go.
Because it comes to a point. Okay, so yes.
I just want to uproot my fear of being alone. Like, I was in an 8-year relationship before. I was just single, like 3 months. And I literally always had a fear of being alone. So I'm trying to get out of that. And I'm also trying to prioritize myself, because I literally don't do anything but work. Come home, my daughter, I have a 3-year-old daughter. And that's it. Like, so I'm also trying to prioritize and focus on myself.
Period. So listen good. I ain't not wrong with it. Like your mom.
Jerry?
Just being intentional and staying committed to things that I actually
Say that you want to do.
and then making sure that, like, gym, because I usually go to the gym, but I do it for like 3 months and then stop. So I just want to keep
Start finishing what you started.
That's really hard.
Period.
too. And you be in a good groove, and then it's like you miss one day, and now
Yeah.
I have that bad too.
I guess I'm growing the seed I already planted.
Period.
Just right now, from like, for real, y'all went through so much. Like my past, it's like it was really bad. So I'm still crying. Everybody always out. What you want to do this? What you want to do that? I'm struggling, and that was my past. So now it's like I'm really truly happy. I'm financially stable, and I'm just happy in life right now. So I'm just literally growing the plant that I.
Amen.
I'm
serious.
serious.
I know that's right. Cause she over there trying to hide. Come on.
It's crazy.
Yeah, so one thing I'm trying to learn not to do is allowing myself to overthink and always worry that other people thinking about me or talking about me and stuff. So that's one thing I've been trying to work on this year. Learning to say no without feeling guilty.
Ooh, that's
One thing about me, like,
That was mine.
even if I feel bad, I need to just stick to my guns. Like, I don't care. Like, if it's draining me, I don't feel like doing it. If I don't want to do
You'll
it,
come in.
I'm just gonna say no. Like,
Your
no,
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 your no.
That's my thing.
So that's my thing.
And if they don't respect your no,
Then that's on them.
That's on them. Okay.
yeah. And then
I'm piggybacking on her. Like, I have to start saying no. I have a huge family. My mama is one of 12 siblings, so it's so hard for me to like do like small things. Like my baby's birthday, she'll be 2 in March, March 8th, and I'm not having a party this year. And I struggle with that because I'm having a party with grown people. My baby don't know these people. And the reason I'm struggling is because I set it out for my son every year. Like big ass parties every year. Me and Marsha talked about it, and I was like, you know what? I'm in that season where I'm gonna say no to people more often, and I'm not having her every party this year. And Kendra and Chantel, y'all know, like, I have like 7 got into it.
Okay.
Anxiety and stress. Maybe like a grown person got into it. And I'm not doing it this year.
And that's okay.
Yeah, so Kayla has joined us for the last point of the segment. So my question was, Kayla, the whole point of my podcast is to discuss the point of planting seeds so that you can uproot or so that you can bloom a different harvest. So we were just talking about different things that we either want to uproot or new seeds that we would like to plant in our life or seeds that we would like to continue to water.
I think this year I've been focusing on planting the seed of being present in my family. Last year I worked really hard on finding me and working on who I am. So this year I said, okay, I'm not going to be as selfish. I'm going to be more intentional with, my husband, with my children. So I'm planting the seed of me being present this year. I think I took a lot of pride in the beginning of motherhood, of how present I am and how much I pay attention to my children, but I think I need to do better with my husband. And I think that realization just, hit randomly, and I was like, I'm not doing every part, everybody's not being fully nurtured. And being that is my job as the mother and the wife of the house, I noticed that I needed work on that. So that's me.
Thank you, Kayla. I was actually going to say that was a great response. I wish you would have been here for the married segment and everything, but it's okay.
It's all right.
That was
recorded.
Yeah, you get to watch us.
Yeah, that was a great wrap up. So I just would like to thank all of you ladies for showing up, being open, being honest today. I know at the beginning y'all were kind of like, what's this girl finna ask? What we talking about? I do appreciate the vulnerability for real, because it makes or breaks the conversation that we're having. And I know there are a lot of young ladies and even some men that can tune into this and learn a lot of just about relationships and all the things. So yeah, that was the second episode of Therapy Sessions. Thank you guys for tuning in. Remember, if you want a new harvest, you have to plant different seeds.